The 3D Coat Applink Connection plugin for Blender 2.8 is a real treat to use because it now will set up all your materials ready to render in the viewport using Evee or with the Cycles renderer. It utilizes a principled shader for the material setup. Upon export, you don't have to spend a lot of time hooking up your image map nodes. This Applink will do it for you. Here with Evee, you can see a practical what you see is what you get type of result. Obviously, we have different HDRI maps, but you can see it's very accurate. In the Edit menu, you simply enable it from the Preferences panel. Under Add-ons, make sure the 3D Coat Applink is checked, and obviously save your preferences. Now, when you hit the N key, at the bottom you'll see the 3D Coat Applink section. This list menu is for exporting to 3D Coat, which we will look at in a separate video, but we can update anything that we've exported from 3D Coat by clicking this button. Let me go to 3D Coat. We will look at the process of exporting to Blender from here. We want to go to the File menu. Under Export to, we'll choose Blender. I would suggest assigning a hotkey to this to make it more efficient. You can do so by hitting the End key on your keyboard, that's END, and then making your preferred assignment. I'm going to use that hotkey to bring this up. You can point to any directory you like, but this one's already set up for the user, the Documents, Applinks, 3D Coat, Exchange folder. We also want to use the FBX file format because it works better for the Applink. I'm just going to overwrite this file. The next thing we want to do is choose the Blender Cycles preset and hit OK. Now here in Blender, I'm going to hit the N key, and at the bottom of the panel, we have our 3D Coat Applink section. I'm going to click Update. It came in rather large, so I'm going to scale it down a bit. To do that, I'm going to go to the Applinks object collection here. You'll notice how it stored all the subcomponents within this collection. So I'll right click and choose Select Objects. Hit the S key and scale it down. And then one key to go to the front view. I'll switch to Local Development mode. It uses the Evee viewport, and you can see right away without having to mess with any textures that it looks exactly like what we see in 3D Coat. And let's go to the Shading tab. You can see our principled shader, which it's built on. I can expand the Applink node by clicking this icon. You can see all our image map nodes are hooked up. Color, metallic, roughness, normal map, and emissive. Our emissive node is right here. At the bottom, we can change the strength level. I'll change it to something like 5. The other object. Okay. Now if I zoom in and choose Evee, I can turn bloom on, and you can see how that emissive material is accentuated. Obviously, you can increase that emissive level if you like. I'm going to go back to Cycles. Let's click this icon to go into preview rendering mode. What I'm using is the Pro Lighting add-on that you can get in the Blender market from Blender Guru. I highly recommend it if you need to do any studio lighting. It has a ton of presets to choose from, whether it be lighting setups, backgrounds, floor planes, and reflections. So make sure to check it out. To access the add-on, I need to go to the World section, and for some reason the purple tone is being caused by the Reflections option. I just need to refresh that by checking and unchecking it. I can click on the lights button to access the light setups, and clicking the thumbnail will bring up the preset browser. I want to choose a different setup. You have different ones for characters, objects. I'm going to try this vehicle setup. I like this one. Let's go ahead and zoom in. Later on, I may want to make some material adjustments in 3D Coat and translate those changes back to this model without having to change out the actual geometry. To do that, I'm going to go back to 3D Coat. So let's say I prefer this one. To swap that out in Blender, I need to go to the File menu and choose Export Objects and Textures. Then uncheck Export Geometry. Click OK. Now, I'm going to go back to Blender and we'll hit the N key. And I'll simply click Update. Okay. And let's go to Cycles Render. In the next video, we're going to look at exporting objects from Blender into 3D Coat, making changes and getting it right back. In that case, we will use our list menu to select the task we want to perform, and this Applink will place us in the right workspace to perform that task. So stay tuned and we'll see you then.